left it so late, the network wasn't too well. According to the network in Italy, they said it's extremely terrible. So let me just start sharing the screen here, and then we can make some revisions. I'm sharing my screen now. I hope that you guys can confirm whether or not you see the screen. Either send a message in the chats or you can. Of course, maybe it's a bug. So just send a message in the chat or you can actually just unmute and say you can hear me. If not, then I'll have to record it and then share it. And also, you requested that the videos be uploaded on YouTube. I'll be doing that momentarily. Either the network will be good, I'll share them today. If not, then I'll share them tomorrow on YouTube. And then we can pick up from where we left off yesterday. Guys, how about now?
Much better now.
Alright, I can hear you clearly. Thanks, Obedience. Kindly confirm if the rest of you can hear me clearly. Paul, can you hear me? Lisa, Lucia, can you guys hear me? Paul is saying it's still not clear. Obedience.
Yes?
You can hear me clearly, right?
Let's see, I can hear.
Okay. So Paul is saying it's still not clear. So for the rest of you guys, I cannot hear me clearly. Um, because the video is recording. Okay. It says okay, better now. All right, all right, all right. I'm starting now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see the screen now.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Can see.
So on one part, I have the PDF from yesterday. For everyone else that wasn't able to view the video from yesterday, what we are going to be doing is we're going to try to, in fact, we're not going to try, we will analyze this structure. So this is a problematic structure. Initially, the architect had designed it so that it can be one story, a one-story structure. But now the client would like to revise it in such a way that there's another floor right on top of the ground floor, so that they can have more classrooms. Uh, it's a classroom block with one, two, three, four, five, six classrooms. And then this is the architect's proposed foundation layout. So now the the situation is that the client has already started construction, right? And they've already done these foundation bases of 1515 and columns of 400 400. So now their concern is, can they add another floor on top with what they've already constructed, these 15 bases and 400 columns. And also another thing is that now they do not want to use concrete, because when you zoom in on the section here on the section right there, you can see that initially the proposed material is concrete. So now they would like to switch to steel, because after some advice, you can see, imagine having a beam that's running for 11.7 meters. So we want to switch to steel, because steel, it's fabricated in 13, it's sold in 13 meters. um, so from yesterday, what we did is that we did some grid lines, and we placed some columns. Some people call them neck columns, other people call them stub columns, because they're called neck because they're buried in the earth. So that's the neck. I do not know what the stub for what the stub means, but I know they're called stubs. If anyone knows why they are called stub columns, you may be able to, explain to us why they are called stub columns. Okay, so someone is to join. Okay, the network, okay. Hmm? What is that about the Sorry, it's taking a bit of time on this. Okay, so this is what we have done yesterday. And yesterday we had a good audience. We had Lisa, we had Obedience, we had Mukusa, although I cannot see Mukusa here today. But then, if you, Nisa, you remember the recap that we had yesterday? Can you just walk us through if possible? And also, I hope you can see my screen.
I can't really hear that
Hello.
buzz sound.
Oh, everyone is complaining about the buzz sound. How about now?
Still, if you're using a mic,
Oh, okay.
that will bad.
Yes, I am using a microphone.
Maybe that's what's.
Hello? You said?
I'm saying maybe that's what's causing the feedback.
Because I'm using a desktop computer. I'm not using a laptop.
Or you
So
don't have.
okay.
That's
So let me start. I hope that you'll be able to hear me. If not, then I'll have to upload it, and then you'll be able to review. So from yesterday, we had added grid lines in the y direction and the x direction. So this is according to the Cartesian coordinates. We've got A up until P here, and 1 to 3. This makes it very easy for us to identify these columns. We would say this column is A1, and this one is A3, this one is B3, this one is C1, and this one is C3, and so on and so forth, right? So we also discussed the building layout. This one, edit story. We had shown that we can be able to add the levels according to the architect's section, right? From the top of the pad, the floor plan, the ring beam, and the roof here. So one thing about this edit story feature, it shows you which floors or levels are populated according to the tick box here, the info. So when you are designing in Proto structure, what usually happens is that you will need to, if you add a level or a floor, you need to add information in it. You need to populate it. That's when you can run the analysis. If you create a level and you do not populate it, there will be no analysis. For example, let me show you. If I needed to go to this analysis tab right now, and I go to building analysis, suppose I decided to run this analysis, it will give me an error message saying set information in other flows has not been included or hasn't been populated. So the edit story button feature is extremely useful. If I perform a building check here and I start, no errors. But suppose I decided to run an analysis here. You see this error message, it says analysis can be carried out when all stories are populated. Models with empty stories cannot be analyzed. So here in the building setup here, when you go to edit story, this tick box shows that the ground floor has information, and this information is when you go to the 3D. So here in this section of the software, you can be able to change to plan views or 3D views. And how you do that is that you go to here story, and then you right click, and you've got these options, either a plan 3D. If you'd like to view it in 3D, it gives you this 3D view. Are you guys following? Okay. So here I've got these neck columns or stab columns, and we discussed when you go into the building set out here, you click on edit story, it shows you the foundation depth. And then we carried out that experiment just to see what it means. For example, if I wanted to do my foundation depth to be 5 meters, and I click enter and I okay. See how long they go deep into the ground by 5 meters, because the ground floor remains here, but when I go to the first floor, that's the top, the difference in 200 millimeters. Okay, so let me put it back at because we're only carrying out a design analysis here. I would say I would like for my foundations, because when you're designing foundations, you need to create a balance between an economical standpoint and also a structural standpoint. You do not want to use a lot of concrete. The deeper that you go, the more material that you use. And also, if you do not go so deep, then you're building the structure on the surface, and you do not want to do that. You want to make sure that the foundational substructure elements are in the ground, so that the load transmission and the load transfer can be good. So here it was at 1 1, but I would like for it to be maybe at say 1300, right? So that when we add the thickness of 300, it goes to 1600. So I'll okay it here. See, it's reduced here. And then now I can begin my column placement. So I want my columns to start from the ring beam. I like for my columns to start from the wall plate, right? What is the level of the wall plate here? Here's the wall plate. It's at 4 meters. So if I would like for my column to start from here up until there, what I'll do is that I'll go to this column button here, or concrete column. Actually, I'm using a steel column. So either the steel tab here or this one here. And when you go to this one here, this is the properties. When you click on the section says section. Once you hover your mouse over it, it says section manage. If you click on it, you can decide whether you want it to be concrete or you want it to be steel. So like I had explained, our particular client wants to have the superstructure in steel. And then you can either decide if you want to use the Euro, the British, or the Euro, or the American sections. In Zambia, you often we use the British or the Euro. And this UC means universal column. The UB will be universal beam. If you read a lot of structural drawings, you see that it's either UC, UB, or the IPs. And the IPs are usually in the Euro. You see, this is the IPs here. So I'd like to use a universal beam or universal column of let's say 254 in section 254, 254, and the kg is probably let's say 167, right? I select, I OK. I would like to place these in plan view. When I click on the insertion there, and then I press on cancel, go to 3D, I'll be able to see the column over here. So this column is starting from the left, but I would like to extend it to the ground floor. So I'll select it, right click it, go to the properties. Here in 3D, there's the delta Z for the top and the delta Z for the bottom. What it means is that there's an increment. If I added 100 increment for the top, it goes to the top. Watch. You see? If that wasn't visible, let me say 5,000. 5,000 update. See how it goes to the top. But ideally, I want it to maintain the workload level. But I want it to go down here. So what I'll do is this will be 0 update, and then this will be minus 4,000, right? Because I want it to go minus 100, and I'll update. See how it sits on the column there. Can you guys hear me? Obedience.
I can hear you, but I've lost you the screen. It's
Ah,
not clear now what you're saying.
okay. Can you see the screen now?
Mm. Okay.
Can you guys see the screen now? Okay, moving on.
Not yet.
So here, what I've done is that I've placed that column, the steel column on top of the concrete column. And then here at the bottom, we're going to have a base. Okay. I would like to have, there's this cool thing that you can do in Photo where you can have a 3D view in one window and a plan view in another. In order to do that, you need to create two. So here on views, you right click. Since you already have a 3D view, say you need a plan view. Now you got two. Previously you had one. For example, if I close this, previously I had one. You see it says story 3. But then if I click on views, right click, I can add a plan view. Now I have two. So you can place them side by side. What you can do is you go to the window tab here, you click on it, you click on whether you want to have them in a vertical manner like this, you see, and then from there you can switch this to 3D like that, or you can have them in a horizontal. If you'd like to have one at the top and the other at the bottom, this is actually cool. And then this helps so that you can know exactly where you're placing it. So for example, if I click, when you click it, you activate it. When I click this and I go to my ground level where the columns are, I know exactly where to place my steel columns. So let me just adjust this because I did control properties 3D. It maintains that 5000 after having pressed the control Z, and I would like for it to go 4000 down, and I'll update. So I want all the columns to sit like that. So if I go here, I place another one. Also when you hover your mouse over it, you see 4000 goes all the way there to the bottom, but I want it to sit or flush with the concrete column. So what I'll do is I'll go to the building layout, and I need to find the difference between the wall plates here and down here. You see? So what I'll do is go to your calculator, go to your building setup, and find the difference. So let's say 2000 minus 1, I1, H2, I2, and I3. Also J3, K3, L2, K1 here. Okay, still have a lot of columns to place. Here is three properties. N1 here. N3, N1, O3, then P3 and P1. So here you click on that, you can change it to 3D, and you can see that we have two columns on top of the concrete columns. So this is just one part. Control S to save your project, and then to end the video I'll show you how to place trusses, and then in the next video we can come and add another floor. So here on roof outlet at the roof plate level here, we can place also here as one roof plate level. When you go to the steel member here, when you press on steel truss, if it doesn't come up, you close. You press on steel truss again. Click on this button. Okay, so when you read here, it says take two axis intersections for memberization. You press here and press here also, and then it gives you which truss do you want to use. You've got a cut truss, you've got the arch truss. Quite often you will find this and then it will give you the geometry information on the right this side. So what you can do is, you see here it says apex height. You can either increase, for example, if you were to say 5,000, watch the diagram here. It goes all the way up, you see. But that's not what you want. It's too much. Maintain 2,000, and then on the heels here it says HR and HL. HR, HL. You can either zero it to meet, and then you can say okay, and then you see. But when you zoom in closely here, you can see that this truss is made up of L shapes or angles as they are called on the market. You can change the geometry to have this is the top chord, this is the bottom chord at the bottom, and this is the vertical. So you can choose what kind of sections you'd like to use. For example, if I would like for mine to be IPs, I can say members here, and I'll say the top chord. When you click on it, I'd like to use maybe an IP 200. So I'll go to IP here, and I'll say 200 for my top chord. I'll OK it, and when you check, it's changed to an IP. Before it was an angle. And then the bottom chord also here, when you click on the bottom code option there, you can switch to the Euro code and say you would like an IP 200. You select like that. Oh, the network. Anyway, you find this recording uploaded. Okay. Someone is requesting to join. Alright. I hope you guys are following, and I hope I'm not moving too fast. So you can see that I've changed the members. The top code now is an IP, it's an I section, right? And the bottom code also is an I section. Just to be safe, I would like the vertical also to be an well, we can, as long as if we can include a haunch here, then will be good, so that this and this will be one, and then for the vertical and the webs we can have the angles, the L shapes. So when I OK it, you can see that it changes. So what can happen is that to simplify your work, you can copy to the insertions, right? Like from here, and mind you, be careful, you do not want to put a truss on this column because it doesn't have a support this side. So it's going to be hanging, unless if you intend to put a support, then you can put a column here, a truss here. So what that means is that you can copy. You see, when you right click, you have the copy option. Okay. So here you can right click, copy, and you can select the peak point here, and then you can. Actually, this is where we said you shouldn't place it. So I'll come and delete it later. You can check the 3D there so that you can have an idea. So when I press it, if I click there, this is convenient because you could support both ends. This is not convenient, it doesn't have a support on that end. This is also not convenient. However, this one is extremely convenient. When you click it, so this one is set to delete, this one you keep, you can copy, you paste it here, take it from there, paste it there, there, now we have a trust. I think for now, I'll end it on the website. What we did is that we included these two columns to work on star columns, right? And then also change the height to make sure that they have a base rate. So ultimately, once this is done, what I would like to happen is that I would like for it to look like this pattern. Maybe let's just give it some time to load. Okay. Yeah. And also I showed you how to place this side by side. On the window you either select horizontal vertical like that. Depending on how you're feeling and how you'd like to orient your work. Then later on when you take this into testing, you need to really be specific about the supports that you create. So let me show you what that looks like. So right here I place my order axis. You can try and do each of these. So it's teaching you to keep it like this. Like when you're building cars, when I open it, I also model the space structure. So it looks something like this. So I'm coming from this perspective like this. So what it should look like is that when you go to steel, when you click on your connection, you press the drop down whatever the Apple connection you want, so you can load steel. You click on the focal point, and then it will load that apex so you add it to your format. It should look something like this. You go to steel focal, steel base, you click 2, 0, like that, and you press enter again. On the drop down you select which connection you'd like to remove the apex of steel, and it should change. Give it some time. Okay, everything changed. You go to your file, then place it what you want. And then as far as the breast plates, what you're looking for is putting a selection for concrete, and the steel you enter whatever selection you want the breast plate right here on this blue part. On the blue part there you search for your best plates. Should be best plate there. Concrete. Okay. So you find your connection, click right there, and then you change the base plate there.
definitely when you're vegetarian, this is what you want to do. So our aim